Hello and welcome everybody once again to another exciting episode of RCW StrikeZone. We are coming to you live from Pontiac, Michigan. And hello again, once again everybody, my name is Tuba Splat and I'll be your host for another exciting episode of RCW StrikeZone. We are the first Strike Zone after Hell on Earth, our pay-per-view back this past Sunday, where we saw not one, but two new champions here in RCW. We have ourselves a new RCW Twitch TV champion, that being the former World Heavyweight Champion Bray Wyatt, as well as a new RCW Women's Champion Sasha Banks after she got herself included into the Women's Championship match after confronting Nikki Bella last week. But coming up first, we got our RCW's resident steampunk Becky Lynch, the former SmackDown Live Women's Champion, in action, coming up against Alicia Fox. We also saw this past Sunday that Finn Balor knocked off Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell, where finally Randy had nowhere to run and he was locked inside Hell in a Cell with the Demon King. Also coming up tonight, we have two more women's division matches. We'll have Emma taking on Carmella, as well as Alexa Bliss taking on the former RCW Women's Champion, Bayley. And then coming up in 4 weeks' time is going to be our WrestleMania. We're going to have RCW's Final Bell, which is going to be our WrestleMania in 4 weeks' time. And if I were all of our competitors right now, we'd be looking to make a statement to our management, being Edge and Christian, to try and get a spot on the show, and even for a championship opportunity. As we get set right now with Alicia Fox coming out of the gate with a Hurricane Rana to Becky Lynch, and of course Alicia Fox, also a former WWE Divas champion in her own right. Alicia Fox, a 10-year veteran of the professional wrestling, at least in the WWE. Used that to her advantage way back in October in the Honor Rumble kickoff when she knocked off Naomi to be in the Battle Royal to become the inaugural Women's Champion. And Alicia Fox, believe it or not, made it to the final two until she was eliminated by Nikki Bella, who would win the championship. As Becky Lynch went for a crossbody from the middle or top rope and came up empty, and Alicia Fox just taking it to Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch also took a loss last week to Natalia. And Becky Lynch with a DDT to Alicia Fox. And of course Becky Lynch working on the arm of Alicia Fox, but Alicia Fox with a slam right there, then followed with a leg drop. And we haven't seen much of Alicia Fox since about the Autumn Rumble, and she's looking to make an emphatic statement by trying to knock off Becky Lynch here in our opening contest. As now Alicia Fox works the leg of Becky Lynch. And a running double axe handle again, working on the focusing on the leg as she now goes for the figure four here. And Becky Lynch with that right hand to the head of Alicia Fox, and Alicia with an inverted DDT to Becky Lynch. And Alicia Fox with the somersault into the leg drop, into the cover here on Becky Lynch, and Becky kicks out at 2. This match has been all Alicia Fox, and Becky Lynch with a counter. Becky, the pump handle looked like a choke slam almost, or a rock bottom there. But from a pump handle position. A hard kick to the back of Alicia Fox as Becky Lynch is now showing that straight fire attitude and passion that she has. Alicia Fox, the veteran, one step ahead. Let's go for that leg DDT to Becky Lynch. Alicia Fox into the cover on Becky Lynch. And Alicia Fox picks up a huge win over Becky Lynch. Some new moves from the repertoire of Alicia Fox. I know in the past that she's used that scissors kick. Shades to WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, but use a leg DDT to put away Becky Lynch. Like I said, RCW's WrestleMania is coming up in 4 weeks' time, and Alicia Fox made an emphatic statement in the women's division. Everybody wants to make their mark to be on the grandest stage of them all for RCW. And coming up next, we got Bray Wyatt, the new RCW Twitch TV champion, in action against Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura, one of the many victims laid in the waste of Luke Harper, including Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, and more recently Ty Dillinger. And also, speaking of Luke Harper, he'll be in one-on-one action against Apollo Crews later on tonight. But here comes Bray Wyatt, the former SmackDown Live Tag Team Champion, former WWE Champion, RCW Heavyweight Champion, and now the current Twitch TV Champion. And it seems like all members of the Wyatt family that have signed with RCW, just being Harper and Wyatt, have all been on a rampage since first signing the contracts. The only man that's been able to stop Bray Wyatt has been only Chris Jericho, and the same with Luke Harper. The only person been able to stop him is Cesaro. Everyone else has fell victim to the former Wyatt family members. But Bray Wyatt might possibly be in the fight of his life against Shinsuke Nakamura. And of course, Shinsuke Nakamura, the two-time NXT champion and the former IWGP Junior Heavyweight champion. The legend over in Japan signed to NXT and has come to RCW. Had a great debut, more or less, against Kevin Owens. Their first encounter ended in a count-out where Shinsuke was actually on the receiving end of that count-out, and Kevin Owens picked up the win over Shinsuke. But the next time they fought was at Winter's Wrath in a Falls Count Anywhere, and Shinsuke picked up sweet revenge on Kevin Owens. And again, Shinsuke Nakamura hoping to make a statement against Bray Wyatt, the current Twitch TV champion. Since, again, falling victim to Luke Harper. A lot of people have fallen to Luke Harper. And here we go, Harper and, Wyatt and Shinsuke Nakamura. And Shinsuke immediately throwing Wyatt outside the ring. Shinsuke Nakamura knows the history between Wyatt and Harper, and since he was unable to defeat Harper a few weeks ago, he wants to take it all out on Bray Wyatt, it appears, as we're already at a count of 3. And Wyatt with a back body drop. And Shinsuke. The ref now at a count of 6. Shinsuke with a hard knee with the strong style background. Now Wyatt sending Shinsuke back inside the ring. And now Wyatt a lot more comfortable inside the ring than outside. Does it seem like Shinsuke had it going on in the opening moments of this matchup, and now it's all been Bray Wyatt dominating as he does to everyone else that stares him across the ring. And Wyatt again right back on the attack with the headlock. And then the power slam. But Shinsuke sweeping the leg. And a hard roundhouse, followed by a series of forearms, and Wyatt with one right hand just able to stop the momentum of Shinsuke Nakamura. As Bray Wyatt delivers snake eyes to Shinsuke. And Shinsuke with a fireman's carry counter. Shinsuke with the German suplex to Bray Wyatt. Now Shinsuke into the cover on Wyatt. And Wyatt kicking out at 2. And Wyatt rolling Shinsuke onto his belly to free the pressure in the legs. Now Wyatt sending Shinsuke, or sending him perched up on the top rope. And now Bray Wyatt looking for a back body drop from the top rope, affecting both men as they land hard on their back. But Shinsuke with a double leg takedown to the Twitch TV champion. And Shinsuke continuing to work the leg of Bray Wyatt. And Shinsuke with the knees to the face of Wyatt. And Wyatt again just sending Shinsuke into the rope. And another pair of snake eyes. And Bray Wyatt looking for the capture suplex. as he goes to the running senton. As the crowd is chanting, Bray's going to kill you. Bray into the cover on Shinsuke here, and Shinsuke still alive in this match. As now Wyatt backs himself into the corner. About to begin the spider walk, and we all know what happens next. The crowd again, Bray's going to kill you. Shinsuke falls victim to Sister Abigail. Wyatt into the cover on Shinsuke Nakamura. And Wyatt again laying waste to everyone in his way. It seemed like moments here that Nakamura was get some retribution and did show more of a fight against Wyatt than he did against Harper. But all these Wyatts are just unstoppable. And coming up next, following a successful tag team retain at Hell on Earth against the Revival, Team Altitude are in action against the Club, and the Club didn't have that great of a debut here in RCW against Enzo and Cass, American Alpha. Luke Gallows, for one reason or another, left Carl Anderson high and dry, and hope that Gallows will stick around, because another great match will be coming up here against the tag team champions if they can knock off Team Altitude. And here comes Gallows and Anderson, one of the part of the most dominant team over in Japan, the Bullet Club. Then coming over to WWE, becoming tag team champions. Also former IWGP tag team champions, same as the Dudleys. Gallows and Anderson destined for greatness. And of course, former running mates with AJ Styles and Finn Balor. The Gallows and Anderson have a hell of a fight ahead of them in the tag team champions. Team Altitude regaining the championships from Enzo and Cass, since Enzo and Cass won them at Winter's Wrath in the first or second episode of 2017 of StrikeZone. Team Altitude invoked their rematch clause against Enzo and Cass and became tag team champions once again. The first ever two-time tag team champs. They're a formidable team, Team Altitude. They've been teaming well since RCW started, but let's see if they can keep it going against the club. And here we go, Ryder and Anderson starting off, collar and elbow tie-up, and Carl Anderson pushed in Ryder to his corner. And Anderson with a lariat. Follows up with a series of hard kicks, and now just laying down right hands to the head of Zack Ryder. And Ryder answers back with a high knee. Of course, Ryder also former Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, and WWE Tag Team Champion, and Neville, former Cruiserweight Champion, and one of the longest reigning NXT Champions. There's the crowd here in Pontiac's chanting, "Let's go Ryder." As Carl Anderson just slams Ryder's head right into the mat, almost pile driver style. And here comes Luke Gallows, one of the big men in this matchup, one of the bigger men in RCW, as he just throws Ryder right into the ring post. As much as Luke Gallows would like to forget, he was also part of the Straight Edge Society with Serena and CM Punk back in 2010 and 2011. And Ryder with an elbow, then looked like the Zack attack. And now Ryder looking to build a head of momentum here with a drop kick from the corner. Then an elbow splash to the corner to Luke Gallows. As Ryder now delivers the broski boot to Luke Gallows. Now Ryder sends Gallows onto the apron, and Ryder now with a DDT to Luke Gallows on the apron. We haven't seen that side of Zack Ryder before, and Neville come to the assist of his tag team partner. As it seems like right now it's a 2-on-1 assault of Team Altitude on Luke Gallows. Now both men are laid out on the floor as the refs at a count of 5. Count of 6 now as Neville's taking it to Luke Gallows. Gallows back in the ring, and same with Ryder. A little bit of viciousness from Team Altitude. Never seen that before. And Gallows again back into the corner. Kicks out of it with a hard boot to Ryder. Ryder back on the attack here. Luke Gallows looking for a power bomb, but Ryder with the wherewithal to counter. And a crucifix pin to the pin. But now Carl Anderson taking it to Zack Ryder. What a match this has become in between these two teams. As now Ryder wants to attack Carl Anderson, but he instead tags in Neville. And Anderson Gallows right on the attack of Neville, and here comes Anderson. As now the club are taking it to Neville here. We go for the clothesline and then a leg sweep here. Just targeting Neville here. The club now returning the favor after Team Altitude singled out Luke Gallows. And they're doing the same to Neville as Ryder can do nothing but stand there and watch. Anderson sending Neville into the ropes, and Neville with a counter. Neville with a running power bomb to Carl Anderson. Neville standing shooting star press. Neville with a springboard 450 splash to Carl Anderson. Neville looked like he was about to light up Anderson's chest there. Neville with a snap suplex to Carl Anderson, a standing shooting star press, and a standing corkscrew. Into the cover goes Neville on Anderson. What a match this has become between these two teams. Now Carl Anderson into the corner. And Team Altitude setting up for the airdrop to Carl Anderson. Ryder into the cover as Neville goes to work on Luke Gallows on the apron. And Carl Anderson with the kick out of the airdrop. What a match between these two teams. Now Ryder sending Anderson into the corner. Anderson fighting out. Anderson with a running drop kick to the face of Ryder. Now Anderson into the cover as Neville breaks up the pin for his partner. To save Ryder. And Ryder with a hard kick. And Ryder looking for it again. One for Gallows and one for Anderson. The broski boot. Ryder into the cover on Carl Anderson. Anderson kicking out at 2.5. Ryder misses with the drop kick. Carl Anderson looking for a suplex. Ryder with one of his own. And Ryder with a missile drop kick. That time he was on the mark. Now Ryder and Neville. Double hip toss. And Neville goes into the cover on Anderson. Anderson kicks out at 2.5. As it now looks to try and be a 2-on-1 assault again on Carl Anderson. As Ryder finally gets out on the apron. Neville on the middle rope here. Delivering a drop kick to the back of Carl Anderson. Again, this match has just been back and forth. Neville again with a standing shooting star. Now working the leg of And Anderson with a hard left lariat. To Neville, but Neville still continuing to fight. This is a war between these teams. Anderson now sending Neville into the corner to tag into Luke Gallows. Looking for the boot of doom. To Neville. Gallows into the cover. And Neville kicking out at 2.5. Anderson and Gallows know what's at stake. It's a future shot at the tag team championships against the champions, but Ryder and Neville are not allowing it to happen by continuing to fight in this match. Now Gallows with a choke slam to Neville. Might be looking at a match of the year candidate because this match is and a hell of a fight between these teams. As Gallows just sends Neville right into the corner. Now Neville returning the favor, but Anderson with that distinct height advantage gets one over Neville. There's now Anderson and Gallows looking for the magic killer to Neville. And Luke Gallows takes out Ryder, and the club has beaten the tag team champions in a hell of a war. You see that one of the first opening moments in the match right there. Now Ryder with a DDT to the apron of Luke Gallows. Well, if I were Edge and Christian, I would definitely consider the club as top contenders for the tag team championships. As you see right there, the magic killer to Neville. And the club pick up a win over the tag team champions after these two teams went to war. Great match. As now we're going to hear from Paige, who we haven't seen much of late since she was in a triple threat match to become #1 contender for, at the time, Nikki Bella's RCW Women's Championship to fight at Winter's Wrath. It was Paige and Bliss and Bailey in the #1 contenders triple threat match. Look, a lot of you know who I am at this point. I'm Paige. I was the inaugural NXT Women's Champion, the youngest WWE Divas Champion. And I am a fighter. I've got wrestling in my blood, and I deserve a shot at Sasha Banks in the Women's Championship. I don't care who I have to go through to get to that point. I said I will be a martyr to the women's division. Go through every single woman that steps in my way. But you know what? I'm going to keep that promise. And I'm going to go after the Women's Championship. Where I have to fight 1-on-1, 1-on-2, and even 1-on-3. Because the fact of the matter is... Wait a minute. Look who's back. Asuka is back, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen Asuka in a number of weeks or months. We haven't seen Asuka since November. Back at Thanks for Nothing, when she fought in a last woman standing match against Alexa Bliss. We haven't seen Asuka since then. You, Paige, you want a shot at Sasha Banks and the Women's Championship? Funny story. I do too. You want a title shot. You honestly think and want a title shot. Honey, you haven't been here in months. Who do you think you are that you deserve a title shot before I do? One word, Paige. Dominance and destruction. And also that I was the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion of all time. I think you meant to say the longest reigning champions. I thought you said youngest. Well, that's my thing, okay? It doesn't matter, Paige. I'm back. And you know what? Let's have a match right here, right now. Really? You want a match right here, right now? Well, it's not up to me. It's up to our general managers to decide that, Asuka. Because clearly you haven't been paying attention since you've been put on the shelf. On the shelf. Funny, that's what you've also been doing since about the WWE draft. Asuka and Paige staring each other down in a war of words, and right there at the end, acknowledging each time that each woman has been quote unquote on the shelf, has not been in action. But coming up next, Carmella is in action against Emma. Carmella again with a huge win in her debut a number of weeks ago against Nia Jax, making her tap out to the code of silence. And last time we saw Emma put away Asuka. And of course, we haven't seen Emma also in a number of weeks since She again knocked off Asuka. And of course the spotlight right here, right now is on Emma. Looking to make a statement against still relatively fresh debuting Carmella. And with Emma to build some momentum of her own. And here comes Carmella. The lady has had a hell of a debut over on SmackDown Live before coming over to RCW and had a bit of a heated rivalry with Nikki Bella and that whole triangle there with Natalya, Carmella, and Nikki. But we're not here about what happened in SmackDown Live. We're here to talk about what's happening in RCW as these two women face off right here, right now. And Emma right out of the gate with a gut buster to Carmella. Emma just taking it to Carmella right now. Running powerbomb from Emma. A lot of the women and a lot of the superstars in the locker room have been, quite frankly, overshadowed by more main event players. But now that they're getting time to shine, I think management is going to give them more opportunity and time to show what they have. As Emma is just absolutely taking it to Carmella right now. And Carmella with a face buster to Emma and running clothesline from Carmella. Using the long legs to her advantage. Carmella continuing to work the leg of Emma. Emma sending Carmella into the ring. Did you hear that hard slap to the shin of Carmella following that drop kick from Emma? That was nasty. But Carmella continuing to fight. And Emma with an elbow, then just tossing Carmella halfway across the ring. And Emma with a single leg takedown into the single leg Boston Crab here on Carmella. And Carmella fights out of the Boston Crab. Carmella sending Emma into the ropes and miss a dodge kick. Miss a drop kick, excuse me. And Emma just wants to cut off any momentum from Carmella. Use it to her advantage. As you saw the lower, saw the cross body from the targeting the middle rope, their bottom turnbuckle, excuse me, and Emma with a side Russian leg sweep to Carmella. Now Emma just wearing down Carmella as Emma's looking to put this match away here. She goes for the Ishinoku driver into the pin here. And Carmella continues to fight. Carmella with a DDT to Emma. As Carmella gets the crowd here in Pontiac behind her. Emma sending Carmella into the rope now. Carmella returning the favor. Now Carmella looking for the Bronco Buster to Emma. Hanging her up on the bottom turnbuckle there. And now Carmella looking for the code of silence, and Emma's pretty far from the ropes. Is Carmella going to make Emma tap out here to the code of silence? And Emma barely getting enough. I guess Carmella didn't have the code of silence locked in tight enough. She goes for the inverted face buster there to Emma. Carmella into the cover. Might have looked like that Carmella didn't have the code of silence locked in tight enough, as Emma had a little bit of leg room had a little bit of leeway to break out of it. She goes for a full Nelson face buster there. Emma's got a hell of a lot of tools in her bag of tricks that we have not seen before. Now Emma's taking it to Carmella. And Emma again looking for that crossbody into the bottom turnbuckle, into the cover goes Emma. And Emma picks up a huge win over Carmella. And Emma seems to be surprised that she is able to pick up the win over Carmella. As you see, hard face busters right there with that face buster from Carmella, then shortly following the what looked like a full Nelson face buster from Emma. But it was the crossbody into the bottom turnbuckle that put Carmella away, and a huge win for Emma. As we now move on to our next match, it's going to be Luke Harper taking on Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews had a great debut against Rusev back at Winter's Wrath. We all know that Apollo Crews likes to have fun and work hard, but he's got a hell of a fight up against him. Against Luke Harper, who's just been a non-stopping machine. As Apollo Crews might be looking to Jordan Cesaro is one of the few men to ever stop Luke Harper. Ty Dillinger fell victim to Luke Harper last week. And we almost thought that Ty Dillinger was going to put away Luke Harper. But Luke Harper is a man on a mission that's not ever going to end. And I don't even know what more we can do to Luke Harper. What management could do to Luke Harper. He just lays waste to everything in his way. I hate to think that at this point, management might be considering, can't believe I'm about to say this, but management might be considering putting Harper in the main event picture with Chris Jericho for the world title if that's what Harper wants. Since he wasn't successful against the former Twitch TV champion Cesaro back at Winter's Wrath. But here we go, Apollo Crews and Luke Harper. And Apollo Crews right out of the gate showing the strength that he possesses. Finally putting Harper down to the mat. And Harper with a back body drop to Apollo Crews. As these two Goliaths are going to war with each other here right now. And Harper fighting off a suplex from Apollo Crews. Now this match is drastically turned quickly to favor Luke Harper. Now Apollo Crews laying down Luke Harper with that hard right hand, and oh my God. Apollo Crews looking to possibly avenge everybody that's fallen to Luke Harper. Spinning heel kick missed by Apollo Crews. Now Harper belly to belly. Luke Harper is a freak in nature. As he delivers an elbow to Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews with an uppercut of his own. As Harper sends Apollo Crews up and over the top rope and onto the ring on the ringside. And now Luke Harper with a running power bomb to Apollo Crews on the outside. The ref now at a count of 4 as Crews is back inside the ring. And so is Harper. Northern Lights suplex from Luke Harper to Apollo Crews. A series of right hands from Luke Harper, just now slamming Crews' head into the mat. And Luke Harper with that face buster Now Cruz with a back body drop. Now Apollo Crews building ahead of steam here against Luke Harper. Clothesline into the corner, and then another lariat, and then a kip up. Apollo Crews is something special. He looked like he was going for an enziguri. But Harper on the back body drop. Harper into the cover on Cruz, and Cruz kicks out before the count of 1. Apollo Crews wants to right the wrong that has been done by Luke Harper as Harper goes for that discus clothesline, knocking Cruz's head out into the 3rd row as Harper's in the cover on Cruz, and Harper picks up the win. Luke Harper is now at a count of 5. And again, the only man that's been able to stop Harper is Cesaro. Otherwise, I'm afraid nobody else is going to stop Luke Harper. It looks like up next we're going to hear from Austin Aries, who was a part of the Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match for the RCW Heavyweight Championship against Chris Jericho. The winner would face Jericho back at Hell on Earth this past Sunday. Look, you all know how great I am. I'm the greatest man that has ever lived, Austin Aries. And since I came to NXT, I've been dominant. Had a little bit of a sidetrack from getting my jaw nearly knocked off my head from Shinsuke Nakamura, but that's not why I'm here. Somebody else claims to be the perfect 10. I'm here to prove out that he is the perfect 0. So Ty Dillinger, get out here right now. Austin Aries calling out Ty Dillinger. And of course, Ty Dillinger first making his debut against Luke Harper, saying that he was going to put an end to Luke Harper's reign of terror here in RCW. What do you want, Aries? I didn't quite catch that. I thought you were still doing commentary for over on 205 Live or something. Shut up, you perfect loser. You're not a perfect 10. You have never been a perfect 10. Well, clearly, the people here in Pontiac, Michigan would disagree with you. No, Ty, you're the perfect loser. Have you ever won a match remotely in NXT? And then you have the audacity to come out at the Royal Rumble at number 10 thinking that you were going to win the whole damn thing? I'm disgusted. Well, at least I didn't spend all my time somewhere else becoming world champion, thinking it was nothing special, then coming over to NXT and the WWE to try and make a bigger name for myself. You better watch your mouth, boy. This is going to get you in a hell lot of trouble. Doesn't even matter. You know where to find me. Because I think if you need to find me, I'll be in locker room 10. And Austin Aries has had enough of Ty Dillinger. As Aries just laid out Ty Dillinger with the microphone. Aries on the top rope looking for an elbow, but Ty rolling out of the way. And now Austin Aries and Ty Dillinger are going at it inside the middle of the ring right now. We need to get some security out here. We need authorities out here to break up these two men. I don't care who you get. Just get somebody out here to stop these two. We still have a show to run here tonight. Aries with a neck breaker to Ty Dillinger, and finally a ref's out here, and Aries gets the last say on Ty Dillinger. Now as we try to restore some order here, coming up next is Alexa Bliss and Bayley. And here comes RCW's 5-foot Spitfire Alexa Bliss, who we haven't seen also in a number of weeks since the #1 contenders triple threat match for Winner's Wrath. As we mentioned earlier, that was the last time we saw Paige as well. Alexa Bliss being the former SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Held the title from No Mercy to the Elimination Chamber. Alexa Bliss also knocked off Asuka in the last woman standing match back at Thanks for Nothing in November. A short rivalry between those two women, Asuka and Alexa Bliss. As Bayley, the former NXT Women's Champion and the former Raw Women's Champion, Bayley is here in Pontiac, Michigan, as well as the former RCW Women's Champion. She's here with her Bayley buddies. here in Pontiac, Michigan. Bayley wants to get back in the championship picture since losing the title on the first episode of StrikeZone of 2017, losing the title to Nikki Bella. And then 2 weeks later, Nikki Bella will lose the title in a triple threat match to the current champion, Sasha Banks. Alexa Bliss and Bayley in our third women's match of the evening, and Alexa Bliss immediately with a sweeping the leg of Bayley. Bliss immediately taking down Bayley here. Bayley with the DDT to Alexa Bliss as it looked like Alexa Bliss is about to go to work on Bayley here. We all know what Bayley is capable of. Her matches with Nikki Bella over the Women's Championship, as well as her match with Charlotte to become #1 contender at Thanks for Nothing. That match had Match of the Year written all over it. And Bayley with a backbreaker to Alexa Bliss as Bayley springboards herself all the way to the top rope here. Calling for Bliss to get up and face the music with the corkscrew uppercut from Bayley. And Bayley again with a sharp DDT to the head of Alexa Bliss's. Bayley's trying to get the crowd behind her, the hugger section. These two ladies just switching positions back and forth now. As Bayley delivers a German suplex to Alexa Bliss. This is the hugger section in Pontiac. Comes alive now. Alexa Bliss with a choking STO to Bayley. She goes for the knees there and going for Twisted Bliss already, but Bliss coming up empty. And Bliss with a Hurricane Rana to Bayley. Catching Bayley off guard there, as well as everyone else with that Twisted Bliss already from the top rope. And Bayley with a back body drop to Alexa Bliss. Bayley sending Bliss into the corner. What is Bayley looking for here? Oh no. Bayley with a running drop kick from the bottom, sliding under the bottom rope and turnbuckle. Delivering a drop kick to Alexa Bliss as Bayley immediately throws Bliss back into the ring. Have never seen that before from Bayley. Seems like every single woman in our matches here tonight are pulling something out of the hat we've never seen before. And Bayley again saying Bliss in the corner. Bliss fighting out with the elbow, and Bayley back on the attack with that ruthless aggression from Bayley. Into the suplex. Bayley into the cover on Bliss. We've never seen this side from Bayley before. And Bliss just barely getting the shoulder up, and Bayley believed that that was the end of the match right there. Bayley going back to the top rope here. As Alexa Bliss is halfway across the ring here. And Bayley with a Hurricane Rana from halfway across the ring. All these women are pulling out the stops here. They want to face Sasha Banks for the Women's Championship. Bayley with a low drop kick to the face of Alexa Bliss. Is now Bayley signaling that this match is going to end here with the belly to belly to Alexa Bliss into the cover. And Bayley picks up a win over Alexa Bliss. There we saw the match was gonna end right there with a twisted bliss from Alexa Bliss, and that was within like the first couple minutes of the matchup. And there we saw the huge drop kick from Bayley under the bottom rope, and there's the Bayley to belly to put a period at the end of this statement. As Bayley looks to get back on track to the Women's Championship. And coming up next, we're going to hear from Finn Balor, possibly to address his future plans since defeating Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. I don't know if you guys saw what happened this past Sunday inside the Hell in a Cell, but me and Randy went to war with each other. Now that Randy is out of the way, I've got some other intentions in mind. Edge, Christian, you better listen well, because I want a shot at Chris Jericho in the World Heavyweight Championship. But furthermore, I will challenge formally Luke Harper to a match next week, since he has been able to defeat everybody in his way, but he has never faced a demon. So that's why next week it'll be the Demon versus Luke Harper. Ever since I came back, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has supported me since I came back. Been a hell of a ride, and hope to see it continue. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is interesting news from Finn Balor that he wants to put an end to Luke Harper, as well as wants to become World Heavyweight Champion. general managers Edge and Christian will definitely take Finn Balor into consideration. It's coming up next on our main event, Baron Corbin versus Chris Jericho, and Baron Corbin involved in not one but two matches last week, a steel cage match against Finn Balor. Then the match following right after that, which was the heavyweight championship number one contendership fatal four-way match. But Baron Corbin finally will get his hands on Jericho one-on-one here in our main event. As way back in October, Baron Corbin was also in the semi-finals to become the inaugural heavyweight champion, which would then be, of course, won by Bray Wyatt. And then, of course, last week, Jericho, in a major upset, lost to a debuting Curtis Axel. A huge upset for Jericho and a huge win for Curtis Axel, but Jericho is still able to defend and retain the title against a very game AJ Styles inside Hell in a Cell this past Sunday at Hell on Earth. As Baron Corbin has his sights set against Jericho to become a possible contender if he can knock off Jericho here tonight in our main event. And here comes the RCW the RCW World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho, as he steps into our main event. Jericho has defended the title amongst the likes of Bray Wyatt and more recently AJ Styles inside the Cell. And of course, Jericho winning the championship back in November. Thanks for nothing in his second match ever. Jericho defeated Bray Wyatt the night before, thanks for nothing inside a steel cage. And then Jericho would then be included in a main event World Heavyweight Championship match and a tables match for the Heavyweight Championship, and he would dethrone Bray Wyatt. As Baron Corbin looks to do the same here against Jericho in our main event. Jericho, the crafty veteran, already out of the gate with a DDT to Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin, the former Golden Gloves boxing champion, the winner of the third annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. We'd love to add the RCW Heavyweight Championship to that collection. And again, Baron Corbin won a Battle Royal way back in October to become a quarter finalist for the Heavyweight Championship tournament. Ironically enough, eliminating Luke Harper, and Harper probably has hit the reset button since that Battle Royal as Jericho was ascending to the top rope, and Baron Corbin with the wherewithal to roll out of the way. And Jericho delivering an elbow to the heart of Baron Corbin, as well as a boot to the face, and into the cover goes Jericho, and Corbin kicking out before even the count of one. Chris Jericho, a Grand Slam champion, as he goes for a springboard, comes up empty, and Baron Corbin is watching many tapes in the back of Jericho's matches, knowing what he goes for. Baron Corbin has well done his homework on Chris. Jericho goes for a forearm as he went for a running forearm, and I don't think Corbin anticipated that one. And Jericho taking his sweet time. Corbin with a big boot following the rebound on the ropes for a little added measure. As Corbin goes for the camel clutch onto Chris Jericho. Jericho wrapping and sweeping the legs, the big legs of Corbin. You saw right there that Corbin's neck went right first to the bottom rope, and Jericho onto the top rope now, taking full advantage of what happened. He goes for a double axe handle to try and cut Corbin down to size, as Jericho appears to not be taking Baron Corbin seriously, which I would highly take Corbin seriously if I were Jericho. Baron Corbin's a serious contender for the world title as Jericho looking to roll Corbin onto his belly as the crowd here of chanting Jericho sucks. They're behind Baron Corbin here. Corbin locked into the walls of Jericho with the long legs and the strength of the former NFL player. As Jericho might be looking for the walls of Jericho there, but Corbin moving out of the way of the walls of Jericho as Jericho delivers snake eyes to Baron Corbin into the cover. Jericho and Corbin kicking out before the count of two. Baron Corbin is a serious future world champion. Oh my God. Oh my God, wait a minute. Baron Corbin caught Chris Jericho on a springboard into the end of days, and Corbin into the cover on Jericho here, and Jericho kicks out. I apologize, that took me a moment there to realize what in the hell was happening. Jericho is going for some springboard maneuver, and Corbin caught him in the air, delivering the end of days. Now Jericho back into the cover, and Corbin kicking out before the count of two. Now Corbin with a, looks like a sit-out jackknife powerbomb to Chris Jericho as he goes into the cover now on Jericho, and Jericho kicks out just after the count of one. Baron Corbin is a definite future world champion. And he's still a relatively new blood, even though all the time he spent down in NXT. But right there it shows that the crafty veteran Jericho doing what he can. As Jericho now rolls Corbin once again into the walls of Jericho, but Corbin's right there to grab the bottom rope. And a rope break is forced. And it's smart of Jericho to work on the legs of Baron Corbin. Now Jericho's looking for the code breaker to Baron Corbin. But now Jericho realizes that there was a possible rope break. He pulls Corbin out of the corner and picks up the win over Baron Corbin. Great match and great effort by Baron Corbin. But again, Jericho has that long veteran experience that serves as a great tool for him in all of his matches. You saw right there, there was the end of days from catching Jericho in midair. Do you see the closing moments right there? The code breaker to Baron Corbin. Pulls Corbin out of the corner, middle of the ring. And it's all over. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to close out our show. I'd like to thank you for watching and joining us. And we will see you next week right here on the Strike Zone.